Turning now to that massive winter storm barreling up the East Coast, the powerful system already punishing Arkansas, Virginia, and North Carolina, now about to bring heavy snow and dangerous conditions to the Northeast. Storm warnings and travel restrictions for millions of Americans are already in effect from Virginia to Maine. CNN meteorologist Elisa Raffa is tracking it all for us. Elisa, I'm worried about the ice storms that people might be seeing in certain parts of this area that's going to get hit. And a lot of snow, it looks like, is going to get dumped. I mean, here in D.C., it's just been raining. But you go a little west, and I'm sure people are getting hammered. So what's going on?
And where you're at in D.C., you're dealing with one of the longest snow droughts on record. That's not the case for many from Pennsylvania into West Virginia, where we've had some 6 to 8 inch snow totals already. And like I mentioned, D.C., Philly, all dealing with a snow drought. But the drought ends for areas in central Pennsylvania, where State College ends their longest stretch without 1 inch of snow today. Harrisburg ends their longest stretch without a 1/10 of an inch of snow. It's been 346 days since central Pennsylvania has seen snow. Here's a look at the latest alerts, all of that pink winter storm warnings, where we could see about 6 to 12 inches of snow, especially as you get up into interior New England. The storm right now is still packing a punch with some heavy rain just outside of D.C. That snow getting into parts of Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and that rain snow line, man, it is riding I-95 from Baltimore, D.C., Philly, New York. There have been a few snowflakes flying around New York City, but still a trace of snow at Central Park. Not really seeing too much in Philadelphia either. So that's why we're looking at mostly rain along the I-95 corridor. But as you go north, here's where all that snow is, all those pinks and the purples. Those are those 6, 8, 12 inch totals going into interior New England. Boston could pick up 6 inches of snow. As it goes through the overnight here, we'll find those snow rates picking up 1 to 2 inches per hour over parts of upstate New York and interior New England, really peaking in the Boston area overnight. Then we could still find some snow on the backside of this as that cold air rushes in tomorrow. It could bring a thump of snow before everything kind of clears out going into the evening hours. So we're still looking at some major impacts possible. You could see some of these reds for interior New England because that snow is heavy and wet. We could have also gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So some power problems also could be a concern here. But yeah, the big cities that wanted to see the snow, not getting it this time around, Jim.
I know, and there are a lot of kids at home right now wondering, am I going to be able to not go to school on Monday? That's happening. They're glued to their sets, watching to see how all of this plays out. But people need to stay safe, no question about it. All right, Elisa Raffa, thank you so much. New video into our newsroom at this hour showing a tornado that just hit Florida's Atlantic coast. The National Weather Service says the twister touched down in Fort Lauderdale just before 6 p.m. as strong thunderstorms moved through the area. We're still gathering information on this. Reports of big damage come in. We'll bring that to you as it comes in. Elisa Raffa is in the CNN Weather Center for us. What's the latest on this tornado? Was this being predicted or forecast? It sounds like this maybe caught some folks by surprise. What's the latest?
So it's attached to the winter storm that we've been talking about, and they did have that threat for damaging winds and tornadoes that we were monitoring today. Of course, our focus, though, has been on the snow, but you can see where we had that line of some strong thunderstorms. You see that little kind of hook there. That's the kind of what gave the Weather Service that eyeball to say, hey, we've got this hook. You could see where you had that funnel come down, sparking some power flashes possibly in Fort Lauderdale, and all of this happened just before 6 o'clock, and they issued tornado warnings for this. A tornado warning was issued, and then that cell with the tornado kind of worked its way offshore into the Atlantic. So this is the only tornado that we've had out of this system, and it is the first of 2024. We're in January, so it is our first tornado here of the year. And like I said, all of this is attached to the winter storm that we've got playing out to the north. That's dropping all of the snow. But that's how potent this storm is. It's packing the cold air to the north. It's got a ton of twist to the south, and that's where we've been able to pack some of those stronger thunderstorms across Florida and get one of them to spin up. But the bigger system you can see here still packing all of the snow in from Pennsylvania into upstate New York, where we could still see 6 to 12 inches of snow in that area. That rain snow line has has been pretty much riding the I-95 corridor, and you've got some heavy rain that's starting to move into parts of New Jersey where some flooding has been a concern, and we've got some of that rain washing away that trace of snow in New York. So just shows how potent this system is, where we continue to pack some 6 to 12 inches of snow that you see here in all the pink in upstate New York, parts of interior New England, also coupled with some gusts to 40 miles per hour. So it continues to work its way up the northeast as we go through the overnight with some pretty hefty snowfall rates. Jim?
All right, Elisa Raffa, busy afternoon and evening for you. Thank you for all your work. We appreciate it.